The restaurant was quiet enough to hear the clinking of silverware, until two off-duty military cadets stormed through the door, laughing too loudly, swagger in every step. In the corner, a quiet woman with steady eyes lifted her tea to her lips. She didn't look up when the taller cadet brushed past her. Not until his elbow struck her shoulder with enough force to rock her entire body. The room froze. No one moved. No one breathed. And yet, she simply placed her cup down with the calm of someone who had survived far worse than disrespect. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The cadets exchanged smirks. They thought she was ignoring them out of fear. The shorter one leaned in, bumping her again, harder this time, as laughter rippled from their booth. Still, the woman did nothing, her gaze steady, fixed on the steam rising from her cup. Yet inside her, a storm gathered memories of battlefields, of brothers lost, of promises made to always act only when necessary. She had vowed to leave violence behind when she returned home. But peace, she had learned, was not simply the absence of war. Sometimes it was the courage to stand against those who had forgotten their oath. A waiter whispered to the manager. Murmurs spread across the room like wind through leaves. Phones began lifting, recording. The taller cadet suddenly reached for the woman's plate, dragging it away as if to provoke a reaction. That was when she finally spoke, her voice almost inaudible, yet it cut through the room like a blade. Put it back. He froze. Not because of her words, but because of the way she said them, with the calm authority of someone who had commanded lives. He tried to laugh it off. Or what? He mocked. She didn't answer. She stood not fast, not threatening. Just rose. As she did, the atmosphere changed. The air grew heavy, as if the very walls recognized her. The cadets stepped back without realizing it, their instincts reacting long before their pride. She looked directly at the taller one, and for a moment, the world fell silent. In that silence, he saw flashes he couldn't explain. Sand, fire, a helicopter rotoring overhead. A woman in combat gear diving into enemy territory without a chute. He blinked, shaken. He whispered, "Who? Who are you?" She didn't respond to him. Instead, she turned to the room, her voice soft but resonant. "Uniforms do not give you honor," she said. "Your actions do." The shorter cadet scoffed and lunged forward, not to strike her, but to shove her again, desperate to regain his pride. In a single effortless motion, she redirected his weight, guiding him gently but firmly to his knees. There was no violence in her touch. Only precision. Control. Gasps rippled across the restaurant. A veteran in the back stood up, tears in his eyes. He recognized the technique. Navy SEAL. The taller cadet tried to intervene, but before he could even reach her, she had already stepped aside, and he stumbled forward, catching himself on a table. She didn't raise a fist. She didn't need to. Her presence alone dismantled them. Silence. Then, a single clap. It came from the veteran. Then another. And another. Soon the entire restaurant was on its feet, applauding not for combat, but for restraint. For discipline. For the reminder of what true strength looks like. The cadets looked around. Flushed with shame, the woman met their eyes one last time. "Strength isn't shown in how you treat the powerful," she said. "It's revealed in how you treat the quiet." She picked up her tea, took a final sip, and walked toward the exit. As she reached the door, the younger cadet called out, voice trembling, "Ma'am, are you still active duty?" She paused but did not turn. "No," she said. "But the oath never leaves you." And with that, she stepped into the fading light of evening, vanishing as quietly as she had arrived, because true power never shouts, it stands. And when it must, it rises not to dominate, but to remind the world of what honor really means. Like the steam from her cup, her presence faded. But the lesson remained, lingering in the air, quiet, steady, Unbreakable. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe and share your thoughts below. Stories like this deserve to be heard.